Today I'm reviewing some higher end makeup and letting you know if I think it's worth the money. That's coming up next. Welcome in, I'm Kimberly. This is Pretty Over 50, where we talk everything makeup, skincare, and style for the over 50 woman. Today I'm going through some luxury makeup that I've recently tried, and I'm going to let you know if I think it's worth the money. If you're new here, a very special welcome to you. I hope you'll consider subscribing and make sure you click that notification bell so you don't miss any of my upcoming videos. And if you're interested in more makeup, skincare, and style for the over 50 woman, stop by prettyover50.com. There's a lot more great information just waiting for you there. With all the great drugstore makeup out on the market today, it kind of begs the question, is luxury makeup really worth it anymore? Well, I'm going through some recent purchases that I've been testing and trying, and I'm going to be sharing with you my thoughts on whether it's worth plunking down a few more dollars. As always, everything that I mentioned today will be listed and linked below, and they'll also be over on the blog, so super easy for you to find. And with that, let's hop into it. The first product I want to talk about today is the One Step Correct from Stila. I have had my eye on this primer for such a long time. And you can see it's a color correcting primer, and they have all the colors blended into this one tube, and you pump it out and it's all swirled together. It ends up looking like this before you apply it to your skin. I was so excited to try this product because it had been on my shopping list for a long time. It's a little bit higher end primer, but I thought, gosh, it could really be worth the money if it really does color correct and kind of blur out my complexion before I put on my foundation. Here's my experience. It doesn't really do much more than other primers I've used that don't have this color correcting in them. For me, it didn't really perform how I expected it to. I didn't see any major color correction, and I didn't see any pore blurring either. It just seemed to me to be a very, very hydrating, silky feeling primer, but as far as there being any additional color correction or blurring out of my pores or making my skin look a little bit more perfected before the foundation went on, I just didn't have that experience with it. I can say that this is a beautiful primer in the sense that it feels very silky going on the skin, and it is very, very hydrating. So I think that's perfect if you have a little bit more mature skin or dry skin. But as far as it doing something extra special with the color correction, I can't say that it did that at all for me for my particular skin. So in my mind, I can say that this Stila One Step Correct is a nice primer. I probably could find something at the drugstore that I felt was comparable, that offered the same amount of hydration and staying powder for my foundation. So for me, this one probably was a bit of a fail in doing something special for my skin. The next product is also from Stila, and it's also a corrector. This is the Correct and Perfect palette, and you can see it right here. This is a color correcting palette that you can use for underneath your eyes and any other area of your face that you want to color correct before you apply your foundation or your concealer. It does have every color in here pretty much that you would need to correct any imperfections on your skin, whether it was purple or brown or red or whatever. My experience with this palette is it's fabulous. I really, really enjoy this palette. It is set up in a beautiful way that the creams are underneath this protective plastic thing and the powders are down here. I have used this palette every single time I've done my makeup since I purchased it, and I really, really enjoy it. I have used this peach color underneath my eyes to correct the purple circles. I've used the green on my nose on the days that I feel like my nose is looking a little bit red. I've spot corrected little blemishes with this palette. In short, I think this palette is a fabulous product and definitely worth the price. There's a lot of product in this palette, so even coming in at a little higher price point, I think it's absolutely one of the smartest makeup decisions I've made in a while. This is going to last me a long time. I have everything I need to color correct in here. The formula is really good. It's very pigmented in the color correction color, and yet it doesn't feel heavy on the skin. In other words, when I put the green on my nose, when my nose is a little bit red that day, I don't feel like my foundation looks heavier or cakier because I put the color correction on first. And the fact that it has these two powders, both a warm and a cool powder down here, it just makes it such a handy, effective palette. So I can absolutely say that this Stila Correct and Perfect palette is one of the best decisions that I've made for my makeup collection in a long time, and it's definitely worth the price. The next product I want to talk about is from Dermablend, and this is their Power Setter 2-in-1 Set and Refresh Makeup Setting Spray. That's a mouthful, don't you think? Here's the problem with this product. I really can't give you a review or an evaluation because it turned me off before I even really started using it. And how it did that is with the spray. This spray spits at me. One of the most important things about a setting spray for me is a very, very fine mist. I can't have big droplets of the setting spray landing on my face and creating an uneven look on my foundation when I want the setting spray to even out my foundation and make things look smoother and better. This spit at me right out of the gate and it just completely turned me off. Now, I don't know if it's going to improve over time. I haven't really given it a second chance because I feel like a sprayer with a setting spray is almost the most important component after the fact that the product really works. So if I can't get the setting spray onto my skin in a very, very thin mist, it's useless to me because it's just going to end up making my makeup look worse instead of better. As far as I'm concerned, putting a good sprayer on a setting spray is vital, particularly if I'm paying a little bit more. I want to make sure that that sprayer is going to be very light and very, very mist-like. I have tried taking setting spray that's in a container with a bad mister and adding it to a container with a good mister. My experience has been that it has as much to do with the heaviness of the formula than it has to do with the sprayer itself. So when I've done that, it hasn't really worked. So I can't really say I can put this in another sprayer with a good mister and have a better result. For me, it just spit at me right out of the gate. That to me is just an immediate turn off for a setting spray. So I can't really tell you whether the Dermablend Power Setter 2-in-1 really works as a setting spray or not because I just am so disappointed in the action of the sprayer. The next product I want to talk about is the Illamasqua, and this is a contouring stick. I looked at the description of this product before I got it, and it really shows that it is not a bronzer, it is a contour product. And it showed the model really defining out her neck and her cheekbones and other areas of her face that she really wanted to contour. I was hooked when I saw that on the website. So I went ahead and put it in my shopping cart. This is how it looks in the tube. It's kind of a gel-like consistency. It's an interesting type of gel in this container. And let me show you what it looks like on the back of my hand. You can see it right here, and you can see that it is very, very subtle. And when it goes on, it feels very moisturizing, but not in an oily way, almost in a hydration, in a water way. It's very, very cooling, very, very moisturizing, and very, very subtle. My experience with this particular product is that it really didn't do much to contour my face. In other words, the color was so subtle, and when I went to blend it out, it pretty much just blended away. I wonder how it would work for most skin types because I'm very fair. So if this is going to show up, it's got to show up on my skin because I'm just about glow in the dark white. So my experience is that I used it, and I used it a few times. I used it to contour my cheeks. I used it underneath my neck. And when I went to blend it out, I really felt like I had no product that was showing up to add that contouring to my face. So for me, this particular product, as much as I love so many products from Illamasqua, this one wasn't a winner for me. I'm not sure if it comes in different colors or if it would look different on someone with a deeper, richer skin tone. I'm not sure what I did wrong or if it's just a product that is so subtle that I really can't even see the effects of it. So unfortunately, this contour stick from Illamasqua, for me, not worth the investment. The next product is the huge mascara from Stila. Let me tell you what, this stuff is amazing. It is so good. I don't think I've ever had a mascara that makes my lashes more hugely bigly than this one. This was really, really amazing. It comes in this larger tube. It feels a little bit larger than an average mascara tube. It has a pretty standard wand in that it doesn't really tip out thinner at the end, and it's a little bit of a figure 8 shape. I will tell you what, when I put this on my lashes, it was amazing. Thickening, lengthening, volumizing, super black, super ba-ba-ba-boom lashes almost instantaneously. I was able to build this up to 2 coats. My lashes looked amazing. I'm not wearing it today. I'm wearing another mascara. But I can tell you what, this mascara did more for my lashes, I think, than any other mascara I've used, and I've used some good ones. As far as ease of use, I can say when you go into the second coat, it does clump up a little bit, so you kind of have to work with it. But if you're looking for really full, really volumized, really long lashes, I don't think I found a mascara that does it better than this one. Is it worth the price? Well, I think for me it is, because when I want really, really big, really, really dramatic lashes, this delivers. This huge mascara from Stila really, really does deliver. The color's very black. The formula is amazing. It really does make your lashes huge, just like it says on the tube. For me, this was absolutely a great addition to my makeup collection. The next product I want to talk about is this concealer from Zellens. Isn't that a pretty packaging? It really is. So you pull off the cover here and you click up right here to advance the concealer out of the tip. I actually really like this concealer. I think it's a very good concealer. It's a very good color for me. It does a great job of hiding my dark circles, and it's moisturizing. So I think it's really wonderful for us over 50 gals with more mature skin. I didn't find that it settled in my creases more than most concealers do, because I have creases underneath my eyes. However, it does set down very nicely and doesn't break up during the day. Here's the only thing that I'm not a fan of with this particular concealer. It's the delivery system. You can see right here that it is a brush. It's like a plastic brush at the end, and you click it to advance the concealer down the tube and onto the brush. My experience is that I have a really hard time getting out the right amount of product on this brush. In other words, I'll click and click and click and nothing comes up, and then all of a sudden a whole glop of concealer comes up, and then I end up wasting way too much. Unfortunately, that's kind of a deal breaker for me, because this is not an inexpensive concealer. I'm wasting and I'm wasting a lot of it trying to get the right amount to come out of this delivery system. I really like this concealer. I wish they would change it to a doe foot. That would be easier to get the right amount of product onto my under eye area, instead of this clicking system where all of a sudden a whole bunch comes out and I end up wasting it. So the Zellens concealer, I love the formula. It does a great job. It's hydrating. It's good for us over 50 gals who might have a little drier under eyes, but unfortunately the delivery system for me kind of makes it a little problematic. So if they change the delivery system, this would get a thumbs up from me. As it is right now, I'm a little bit on the fence about this one. The next product is also from Illamasqua, and I'll have to say, of all the eyeshadow palettes I have, this is the one with the most beautiful packaging. It almost looks like leather. It has the silver type on the front. It's really so very beautiful, and the way that it's designed is just lovely. This is the Elemental palette, and you can see that it is a very neutral palette. There are a few pops of color in here, kind of a plum down here, a brick red. Other than that, it's mostly a neutral palette. What I can say about this palette is it's really a good palette. This formula is beautiful. It's very pigmented. It blends out very well. It's everything that you would want in a nice eyeshadow palette. This really delivers. If you are a gal who mostly only uses neutrals, this is a terrific choice because it has some warmer tones and some cooler tones. And one of my favorite colors in here is this Dove Gray, which looks so beautiful on the eyes and so sophisticated. This palette would be perfect for someone who really only wants to own 1 or 2 palettes and really sticks to a very sophisticated, very neutral eye. This really does deliver. The colorway is very, very sophisticated. You could put together a whole bunch of looks in this palette. It's great for us more mature women because it's mostly matte. There's really only one satiny shade up at the very, very top. So it's mostly a matte palette, which works really well when you have a little bit more mature eyes. So as far as I'm concerned, this is a beautiful palette. I think it's definitely worth the price. It's not as expensive as some higher end palettes, but I think it really, really delivers in a big way with the excellence of the formula, the beautiful choice of colors, and the gorgeous packaging. In my mind, this was a great addition to my makeup collection. Well, those are my thoughts on some high-end makeup I've been trying, which ones I think are worth the money and which ones I think maybe not so much. I hope you found it useful and helpful. If you did, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. If you're new here, make sure you smash that subscribe button and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of my upcoming videos. And if you're interested in more makeup, skincare, and style for the over 50 woman, stop by prettyover50.com. There's a lot more great information just waiting for you there. You guys know it just thrills me when you take a few minutes out of your day to spend it with me. I appreciate that, and I appreciate you. Again, I'm Kimberly. This is Pretty Over 50, where we talk everything makeup, skincare, and style for the over 50 woman. Make it a great day. Wear your sunscreen and all. See you in the next video. Bye now.